Good morning, people. Today is Wednesday, January 31st, 2024. It's about 6 o'clock in the morning out here in beautiful, lovely, wonderful southwestern Nevada in Nye County in Pahrump. And I'm pouring my coffee, but here we are, Department of Career Services. Department of Career Services, where we have a simple goal, which is to help you get from where you are to someplace better, from point A to point B. That's it. We're just here to help you on your journey through life in four aspects, the four important things: physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. Those are the four parts of your life. You can think of it like a four-legged table. Those four parts are essential to maximizing your life. You have to be physically fit, mentally fit, emotionally fit, and spiritually fit. If you don't have a solid foundation in each of those, it's like a table with a wobbly leg, right? What happens? You put too much weight on it, boom, the leg falls off, things slide off the table. You've got to spend time picking them up, putting them back, redoing it. Have four solid legs. The most important one is the spiritual, and we focus exclusively on that on Saturday and Sunday. Monday through Friday, we focus on things that help you navigate through the world of men and machines. So we have our podcast, we deliver in this daily podcast, and its main purpose is to help you create a good routine. A good routine, do it over and over and over again. Repetition becomes a habit, unconscious behavior. In fact, it gets to the point where if you don't do it, you don't feel good. You have to do it. You've talked to people who they have to go to the gym, or they have to go running, or they have to go do this, they have to have their cup of coffee, they have to go to Starbucks. It's a habit. And once your brain has this habit and you don't do it, you get to be cattywampus. Good morning, Matticus Von Atticus. Day number 6. Good job. Telemark. 6 in a row. Good job. Proud of you. Creating a routine leading to habits. And these habits replace other habits. So if you have the habit of sleeping in and you decide to get up every morning and do this, once it becomes a habit, you replace the habit of sleeping in with a better one. It's that simple. Okay, so today is a big day. Today is our rope danglers breakfast. Chair feels kind of funny. Our rope danglers there's always something. Okay, so our rope danglers breakfast is today. That's where Love Thy Neighbor supports the churches, the volunteers, and we invite everybody who wants to come to the breakfast is welcome to come. You just have to get there. We're going to need to find a new doctor. Okay. Well, Matt, you're supposed to go to Optum. You need to go to Optum. We have a relationship with Optum. Anyway, fast forward. So we're here to help you move forward on your journey. No big deal. The podcast helps you create good habits, but the information is in the description down below. The links to the worksheet and where you can watch this podcast later. That's the important stuff. But let's get right to our worksheet. Theme of today: what if you don't change? So one of our talks, the motivational video, has to do with consequences. Ask people consequence questions. Don't ask them other types of questions. Ask consequence questions. Well, what if we don't do this? What if we do it? Focus on the consequence. Where are you going to be next year if you don't change? Are you going to be happy if a year from now you're exactly where you are today? So that's an exercise we can do with Matt and say, Matt, if on January 31st last year, we had said to you, where will you be on January 31st, 2024 if you don't change? And my hunch is, if you think about it for a second, your answer would be, you changed a lot in the last 12 months. That you started going down this direction, getting prodded and pulled and poked and pushed, and to do things and to do this and do that. And that you had people who out here were actually invested or involved or committed to getting you to change from who you were to somebody different. And so now the question is, on January 31st, where will you be if you don't change? And the answer should be, well, if I keep going to jujitsu, here's where I'm going to be. If I keep going to church, or if I start going to church, here's where I'm going to be. If I get my driver's license, here's where I'm going to be. And if I keep doing this stuff, I have the opportunity to make an impact on things. So that's what I would say. Where will you be if you don't change? What if you don't change? What's going to happen? Now let's look at other things we have on here. Okay, so we want to start with on our podcast, our what we do here in our planning phase is we have 4 things that we focus on. First is to program the reticular activating system, the RAS. Program the RAS by believing, saying with belief. Don't believe it, don't say it so you will believe it. Believe it so you'll say it. Something great is going to happen to me, or you can do it this way, it's going to happen to me today. Something great is going to happen to me today. Program the RAS. Believe it is going to happen. Something great is going to happen to me today. Always look on the bright side. Always look on the bright side. Seek uncomfort. Number 3, seek uncomfort. Don't look for the easy way. Look for the other way. Why? Well, pragmatically speaking, everyone else is going to be going the easy way. So if you go the uncomfortable way, the path is going to be clearer for you. Plus, you'll be able to withstand a hardship better than those other people. Finally, advice from an 80-year-old, be bold and courageous. When you look back on life, you'll regret the things you didn't do more than the ones you did. Correct. And so Von Atticus should be regretting that he doesn't have his driver's license. Oops, let's see what else. Okay, so Darren Hardy, very good today. A little short, little 5-minute Darren Hardy thing, which goes to something we talked about a couple weeks ago in our employment planning workshop, the social contract with your employer, where he promises to make your life better 2 ways: by giving you money, moolah, dinero, and you promise to make his life easier. And Darren Hardy goes through today, focusing on the easier, talking about 6 ways you make your boss's life easier. And a lot of them have to do with come with solutions. Don't come with problems. At least come with ideas for solutions. Don't throw more of a burden on your boss. I always say, just do what you're supposed to do is number 1. If you're supposed to be there ready for work at 8, be there ready for work at 8. You don't need to be there 10 to 8. If you're there early, don't get in the way, because maybe your boss is trying to do something in that 10 minutes, and now you show up, hey, I'm here 10 minutes early, and wham, you throw him out of his game. If you're supposed to be there at 8, ready to go, be there at 8, ready to go. Just do what you're supposed to do. If you're supposed to clean the cooler at 7-Eleven, just clean the cooler at 7-Eleven the way they want you to clean the cooler at 7-Eleven. Don't say, well, I forgot. How do I do it? Can you go through that one more time? Why do I always have to clean the cooler type of thing? No. Make your boss's life easier. His job is to make your life better by paying you and training you, by giving you more skills so you become more valuable. And if you're more valuable, then you're what? Worth more money. But what you get paid is what you're worth. You don't get paid for showing up. You get paid for adding value. You get paid for making your boss's life easier. Let's see what Seth Godin has to say today. The best possible use. I walked by a psychic storefront studio. The window said that this person had been reading palms and predicting the future since 1989. Wow. It was a large space on a vibrant New York City corner. The rent must be astronomical, or else the purveyor owns the building. Given that this retail space is quite coveted, and the storefront is almost always empty, is this the best use for the space? Wouldn't the psychic owner do better by renting to someone who values it more highly? The metaphor for our use of time is clear. The next few minutes or days or months, sure, you own them, and you can put them to whatever use you choose. But just because you've been using your time in a particular way for a long time doesn't mean you need to keep doing that. What if you change? What if you don't stay the same? Let's start doing that. I think that our theme of every day is going to be a what if question. It's always going to start with what if this, what if that. What if you did go to church in good faith? Okay, so let's see how we doing for time. 6:13 in the morning. I got to get ready. I've got to hit the peloton. And then be out the door by 7, close to 7. Well, not really, because I went to the store last night, and this time we do have eggs for our breakfast, so they can be hard-boiled along with our oatmeal and our fruit. And we have milk, lieb from Milch. Okay, so this is it. Last day of the month, people. Tomorrow we start all over. Great TED Talk. Johan Hari talking about what you think you know about addiction is wrong. Great, he nailed it. Something you should watch because you might have addictive things, or people you know absolutely do, and it could be positive addictions, could be work addiction. Anyway, we are at the end of the day. Thank you, Matt, for being there. I would be happy to turn back the clock because there were times in the past where I was uber happy. The problem is that I kept trying to restore the past without success. Right, Matt. So you got to take what you learned, figure out where you want to go, Jordan Peterson asked the question, if you could be anywhere you wanted to be 3 years from now that you could be, where would you be? And then to ask yourself, okay, what could I be doing other than pursuing that goal? Other than that, what should I do? And I think that's the thing. But I think for you, Matt, you should have one goal: get your license. Just get your license. Then it's going to be get your rolls canardly. Get your rolls. And then you now are going to have a very, very, very different life. Okay, so with that, we're going to say hasta la vista, baby. Glad you're here today. Show up tomorrow.